All right, here we go. Rewind to 2008. The world went through the Great Recession. The stock market crashed, the US lost over 8.7 million jobs, and inflation, for a point, it was as high as 5%. But the world recovered from that. Yes, we stood back on our feet in just 2 years. But then came 2020, when the entire world entered into a state of alarm and businesses were a total mess as we were attacked by a teeny-tiny enemy, COVID-19. Global lockdowns, jobs lost, markets crashing, not exactly the summer vacation we had in mind. But we survived that too. We limped our way toward recovery and the economy rebounded in 2021. But just when we were hoping to catch a break, we have a year ahead of us. As it turns out, the US economy is struggling with a multitude of economic issues, and the year 2023 might just push us into another turbulent period. Can you guess why? Let us just show you. The thing is, we never fully recovered after the pandemic. Inflation is still creeping up on us. Just look at the consumer price index. It jumped to 303.36 points in April 2023. And did you know that it is at an all-time high in US history? This increase in the cost of living has put a strain on American households, making it more expensive to buy everyday items and harder to save. And at the same time, the Federal Reserve is in a bid to tackle this runaway inflation. They started increasing interest rates. Do you know what that means? Loans for everything from your house to your car are getting more expensive. This is putting the squeeze on us all and even affecting those big businesses. The interest rates are currently at 5.25%. And if this number does not scare you, let us tell you that it is the highest interest rate in the last 16 years. And yes, it had big consequences. The biggest loss was Silicon Valley Bank.
A rough week for the banking industry.
The collapse of Silicon Valley Bank.
The second biggest bank collapse in U.S. history.
This bank was like a big fish in the world of finance, always ready with a loan for tech startups and venture capitalists. Well, 2023 decided to play rough, and Silicon Valley Bank became its first casualty. Silicon Valley Bank collapsed on March 10th this year. And this was no ordinary tumble, my friends. It was the largest collapse of a bank after the Great Recession. You're probably wondering why this happened, right? Well, of course, due to the high interest rates. When they started climbing, the trust started falling. People started pulling their money out of the bank, causing a rapid decline in its reserves. And suddenly, this giant of the banking industry came toppling over. But this was just the start. It has created a domino effect. Just 3 days after this tragedy, Signature Bank, which was another one of the US big names, collapsed due to the same reason. Now, even if we stop the rising interest rates to save the banking industry, there's still a lot more happening and a lot more problems on the horizon to deal with. Now the issue is not just at home. Globally, things are shifting too. BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, are disrupting the established order. They are stepping away from the good old US dollar and international transactions. This means if this movement is successful, and if the world stops using the dollar, the demand for it falls. This could lead to a weaker dollar, which means your international buying power decreases. Inflation could rise even more and US assets could lose value. So in short, this de-dollarization could spell another big trouble for the US economy. Let us tell you some other problems the US is facing that seem small right now, but will have some major consequences. First of all, as you know, our economy thrives when we, as consumers, are out there buying stuff. But in 2023, the consumers have taken a step back. This slowdown in consumer spending has a ripple effect. It is messing with the supply chain, making it hard for products to reach the shelves. And here is another thorn. The US market is facing labor shortages and temporary business closures, throwing more wrenches into an already rattled supply chain. So these small challenges are damaging the economy, making the uphill climb in 2023 even steeper. To make matters worse, job growth is not exactly booming either. Today, we're looking at a growth rate of only 4.2%, which sounds decent until you realize that it is the slowest pace since July 2021. Slow job growth means fewer people are earning, spending, and stimulating the economy. It is like another domino effect. Less income, less spending, slower economy. And in 2023, we really cannot afford more slowdown. And let's not forget what the Oracle of Omaha himself, Warren Buffett, has to say about this. In his annual letter to Berkshire Hathaway shareholders, he dropped a bit of a bombshell. Guess what? He warned about an upcoming even harsher inflation and hard times for the US economy. He also nudged investors to stay alert. He warned them about businesses that might be sugarcoating their earnings reports. So guys, we told you about the major economic problem the US is facing right now, and now it's your turn to tell us your opinion. Do you think we are heading for a worse time? Is there a possibility we will be facing another recession? Let us know in the comments below. Now before you go, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to stay tuned for more updates. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.